Man, I forgot how long 30 seconds are when you got to wait quietly.
Right. Yeah, we could probably do that without video, actually. I could probably just do a graphic over.
Like, yeah. It did help me like line stuff up. Cause I'm like, wow, I'm way on the screen.
No, that's good. Yeah,
Get into zero.
Yeah, okay. And the balls in our face the whole time.
What is that though? Like some looks like some like little minion hair.
Oh, that's right. I think there's a poinsettia or something. I took see up at the top there. I took the frame and kind of tried to get it out of our way because it was a little busy.
That thing keeps knocking in the head.
The whole time. Yeah. So I guess this will be the last time before the holidays.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
Yes. So Merry Christmas. Well, Santa came early. Look, there's presents on the table for you.
What is
my
this?
God. It's just a thank you. Should
I open it up on screen?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Get it out of the way. It's more gaming stuff. Oh, that's going to blow. You maybe do the other one first. That'll tip it.
Thanks for the socks, Grandma.
I got you the flattest, stiffest socks I could find.
I did once. I actually for Christmas got like these weird things that looked like little plastic glasses. You know what they are? Sock holders, so that your socks didn't separate in the wash.
There you
Thanks
go.
Very much.
That's always thinking practical. Yeah, sorry. That's that.
Ooh, what is?
Hey.
Oh!
Now you have no excuse but to open it.
Can my excuse be no time?
Oh, well, yes.
Oh, a copy of Hobgoblin.
Yes.
We've been talking about this, and I do want to see how, because it's kind of like units without hit points, right? You just kind of track Doom and then it goes up. So yeah,
I think our Oathmark armies might work well for this.
Oh,
because it's just kind of ranks. It's like light, heavy. It's very straightforward. So we already have those those models, so we won't have to build anything.
Maybe my elves will actually not get massacred this time.
Yeah, right.
Yikes.
Yeah, so this should be fun. So I wanted to get you that before the end of the year, just in case you have some traveling, some
I
good
do have
reading.
some traveling.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to read, not be able to do really much else. Oh, I ripped the papers.
No.
Oh, and the cards.
And the cards, yes.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that came in. I was waiting. We were trying to find some time to take a look at it, but I figured, it makes a good gift. It was still in the plastic,
It does,
so
it does. I didn't realize that Mike Hutchinson had also done Car Wars. Or not Car Wars, Gaslands.
Gaslands, right? Yeah. So it's a big shift. But I think from watching the explanation of the mechanics and stuff, I think it's a really interesting take on skirmish. Or kind of like
the rank and flank,
without a removing models or doing it completely.
I think you take entire. Well, I'll have to read. I'll come back and I want to see if you take entire units off.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's like so everything gets doomed, kind of either flees or just so they build up doom.
Oops. For those who didn't see, it's the copy of the Mike Hutchinson's Hobgoblin miniatures game. Ooh.
Yay! So I think it's an interesting take on like a modified Warhammer fantasy kind of thing. Yeah.
Seems like everybody's doing.
Right. So any gaming stuff? What have you been up to?
Not a lot. Like work's been kind of crazy and stuff. Home's been kind of crazy. What I have been doing is, if you saw, I've graduated to 1mm miniatures. Right? No, I haven't. Okay, I'm still really interested in Strength and Honor, kind of the 2mm kind of Roman era war game. The problem is you need, as I said before, like 120mm by 60mm bases, and at that point, it's grid based. And at that scale, with like 75mm squares, you still need a 6x4 foot table, which just not happening.
Right.
So I said, okay, what happens if you can scale the grid down, and a unit takes up 2 adjacent squares. And I said, okay, to fit into a reasonable size, I could shrink it down to like 40mm by 20mm bases. How do you represent an entire legion with all 10 little blocks of cohorts on it? And I scaled it down. So 4mm squares. It looks like nothing. It's just like this. I painted up it's like a 40 by 20 square within like 10 little raised bumps on it.
Yeah. I was thinking there's got to be someone like with a pin, like heat some plastic card and just like with a pin, like do your ranks.
I need something because there's no texture on the card that I use, so it's really just like a flat block. I do need some kind of little stamp to represent all these little helmets.
Right.
And I haven't figured out how to do that yet. But anyway, yeah.
Nice.
That's what I've been doing.
Nice. And they even have those like static grass, the things that will put standing grass on things.
any grass I get is just way too big, right? When they're little like 1 millimeter people, any grass will just be like, it's way above our heads.
A bunch of oak trees. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, interesting.
Like I said, it's kind of funny how you would think things scale down kind of indefinitely, and no, they don't. Because below a certain size, you need such a vast quantity of miniatures that the base becomes as large, or if not larger than like 28 millimeter games.
Yeah, and I think it's just an excuse to seek some kind of vastness.
It is. And I got to be honest, like looking through the book of Strength and Honor, like it's an army, right? Like when each unit is like thousands of these little 2 millimeter guys, and you have like maybe like 14 of these units. Yes, they're huge armies. You still need a 6x4 table to play, right? Which I'm kind of like, that for me, that kind of defeats the purpose of a 2 millimeter scale game a little bit.
Just zooming up, but then you're also getting, we're staying the same. Aspect ratio stays the same.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes, so we will pick up with some Alien.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so,
how's that going?
Destroyer of Worlds. Yeah, we're going to start. But unfortunately, I've been having connectivity problems with Foundry. I love Foundry. I prefer Foundry, but between Japan and America, the internet just does not want. It doesn't want a server.
Some tariffs, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think they're taxing me. So because of the Black Friday sale, I have a year of Roll20.
Okay.
And so we're going to try it on Roll20, and I'm already, and I think it's worth, because I can then review the kind of content on both platforms.
Oh, pretty good.
And say, how these executed, and already just setting up Roll20, you pay for, this is the free league professional, content. It's so incomplete.
Really?
It's so poorly executed, and it's just, even the, I keep forgetting what it's called, like Rocket Ship or whatever, the new upgrade of Roll20. It's nothing. It's still so far behind. They've had 12 years of development on this. Yeah, I think it was 2012.
Okay, wow.
And it's so lacking, and I think it's just because maybe the business model, they don't make enough to support the kind of development that like an online game or an MMO would have. It's not a constant $1 million a month revenue, so they have to improve what they can pay for, and it's not a lot, and so it just kind of
Or do you think is Roll20 primarily D20 based games like D&D 5e? Or
I think originally, I think everything seems to be
Roll20.
They built it for 5e. Or it seems like for D20. Yeah, it got popular because of 5e, so that's the biggest support.
No, I was just wondering if there are things that would support kind of a more D&D game as opposed to other types of games. Maybe that's where you're running into the issue. Yeah,
and I wonder if just building stuff from scratch in Roll20 is a better thing to do, because they have a lot more drag and drop. So buying the pre-made stuff, I'm not really saving much time because there's so much stuff missing that I wanted to add. And but they do let you from drive-through drop the PDFs in and things, which that's a much bigger pain in the ass with Foundry and people being able to see it and permissions and everything. Right. So it's a little closer to just on the fly being able to assemble scenes and stuff. But I was really disappointed because it had been a while. We did some of the OSR stuff on Roll20, beginning of the pandemic, and it was clunky and weird. And then when we talked about they're doing they're remaking it. It's going to work better, be faster, look nicer. Yeah, they just changed the font basically. It's like they went with a goofier balloon font, and I was really disappointed. But at least we'll have the connectivity because we were starting an hour late, sometimes an hour or more late on the live stream because I was technically just trying to get stuff working.
Right. Well,
yeah,
okay.
So unfortunately that's where it falls down. So it'll be interesting because now we'll be able to do a 1-to-1 like how Alien runs, and the really big disappointment was the dice roller. So they have 3D dice. But the dice roller is so half-assed and basically made for D20. So D6 dice pool systems, it doesn't know what to do. It has to throw in the calculation. I don't know how the thing is built, but it throws 20 dice every time, no matter what you're rolling, because it needs stuff to pick from the probability or how it's seeded or whatever the randomness is. So if you turn on 3D dice on a D6 dice. Yeah, it's always just the screen is just covered, and you can't wrap the dice so that they're custom matching the game like you can in Foundry. So Foundry is much more simple, but these are also third party independently developed things. modules that can be added in. Roll20 doesn't benefit from that, and so the dice roller, you can't use the 3D dice really at all. There's just like they're so just like ugly. They're just the player color. There's no customization. There's no effects. There's just nothing going on with them. And that D6 thing is they'd just be so immersion breaking when you're looking at a map and then just
the dice go across the screen. Yeah.
Giant, one color, like bright blue dice just explode onto the screen. So there's not that, because with the 3D dice roller, when you're playing online, you see the 3D die like almost go to a
really?
1, and you're like, oh, so you still get
That's
a little
cool.
a little bit of that anxiety of like, that was almost a 6. So now we're just going to have results in a chat, results in a chat log. So it'll be a little less fun in that way. But I have done everything I can to get it working consistently. Foundry working consistently. So we're just going to have to
See how it
give up, and for the sake of we're not wasting all of our time. So we'll see. And I even saw the guys, the NTT guys, on the poll. I'm like, what are you shutting down? Are you shutting down my? You're blocking my port again? Keep my port open.
You're smuggling my internet.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on, but so it'll be a big change. So Matt, everybody get ready. So this is like, Chariot of the Gods to Destroyer of Worlds is definitely Alien to Aliens, plural.
Or here, plural. Alien 2.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Alien 2. So get ready for that. You don't, I think the horror is just more, the sheer number is the horror. It's not the crawling dark corridors.
Yeah. As we with Destroyer of Worlds, yeah.
Yeah. So, it'll be fun, though. I think it's a fun, and it's a much bigger campaign. Like you can push. Yeah. But they were saying like 4 to 5 sessions is a pretty good way to run it. So it's not going to be. We were lucky with the Chariot of the Gods. 1 session, 1 act worked pretty well.
Yeah,
I
can do that. Yeah.
I don't think this is going to work because you're going to get to a point, and there's kind of act events that kind of turn that the thing that makes Act 1 become Act 2 is an event, and if you're not there yet, you can't force it. Yes. Yeah. So
having read both of those, I think you could do Destroyer of Worlds as 1 session, 1 act. It would feel, in my opinion, very truncated, and you would kind of have to rush stuff.
Yeah. But that make for some good anxiety, because you have to go now, go, and then they might leave something behind or go do make a turn that would they'd regret. Yeah.
Okay, I've only run like the first part of Destroyer of Worlds, so I don't have that much experience on it. But having run like Chariot of the Gods so many times, there's definitely an external kind of countdown.
Yes.
In that one. Destroyer of Worlds is much more sandboxy in that it's more of like an investigative mystery. Like, okay, you decide where you're going to kind of figure out what's going on and I think the GM would have to be like really good to not make it seem like we're arbitrarily doing this to speed up the time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. Where it fits, it feels like it.
Or it could just be like go into like, okay, we're going to do this like a movie. You're going to have a little less kind of freedom or kind of whatever I'm trying to say than normal. Just kind of go with it, and I'm going to act more like a director and maybe hard frame scenes and kind of cut things. I think that's how you would be able to do 1 act, 1 session. Yeah,
that's true. If you kind of force things to a point. So we'll see how it goes. So this will really be fun because in the first one, equipment and everything is minimal, and you're worried about your oxygen and everything, and this is you have access to anything you possibly could ever want as much
and
as
still not going to matter.
No, it's never going to be enough. So that'll be fun. It'll be really fun to see how it goes and what the players did you notice though, the one thing that was I saw people criticized in the review, and then I went back because I didn't remember that. I went back and read one of the pre-gen characters, the android. His backstory just gives away the whole plot of the whole thing.
You're talking Chariot of the Gods?
Yeah, no, in Destroyer of Worlds. The android is a character. It's a known android. It's not a hidden one this time. And his whole thing is like, and then down here, and he knows about this and this and this. It's like, okay, well, maybe that's good for the player to read only the player, but when the players are choosing their character, they read through each one.
Oh, do they?
Because you want to give them a choice, or I guess you could just randomly hand out the pre-gens.
I'm going to have to go back and look because
it's a little bit too much. Yeah.
Okay, the way they set up I think just the android in Destroyer of Worlds is very much the way Bishop is set up in Aliens, right? You know right from the beginning he's an android.
Yes. Yeah.
We automatically kind of distrust him because of what happened in Alien, right? And there's stuff in Destroyer of World that makes them unreliable.
Right.
So I agree it might spoil kind of what happened, but I think there's kind of ways they get around it where they don't, it's almost kind of like a meta thing where like the players are like, you're the android, I think we're supposed to trust you, but you're doing kind of weird stuff and we don't know. So I'm curious how that's going to play out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm really curious like how the players will interact and everything, and also because androids are so capable, they're so powerful, they're so fast and strong. It'll be interesting to see, and I don't know if anyone's going to choose to play that character, but
I thought the number of NPCs provided or characters were a bit unwieldy, which is why I split the people into like those two groups.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
I'm like, I didn't want to have to run like 6 other Colonial Marines along with you. It's just, okay, you divide the teams up and that players, the pieces all go off on this one and the other team goes off
that's
on
a
the
good
other side.
idea. And maybe I'll suggest that too, to kind of use the other NPCs as like, okay, we can cover more ground, send these guys over there. That might be a good way to do things. Yeah, because you're right. It's silly.
Oh, I've been told to watch the spoilers. for I didn't spoil anything for Destroyer
No,
World.
no. And anything that, it gets exposed pretty fast. Like things go to hell pretty fast. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun to carefully walk into such a mess. Yeah, but it's totally a totally different feel. So it's really cool. And I'm curious now what the tone of the third one is, because they've kind of done Alien, kind of Event Horizon style Alien, and this is much more Aliens.
Oh, what's the third one called? Heart of Darkness?
Yes, you're right. So if it's
it's science.
Right. Apocalypse Now. You're on a boat. They're going down a river. So it'll be interesting to see the change in tone there, and if it's actually fun to play, and maybe it'll give you like a real good idea of the scope of the game, like what you can do with the characters. All right, well, Alien. Yeah, there'll be plenty of that tomorrow. But let's get started for this week, and good to see everybody in the chat, Matt and Clarion.
No more spoilers, I promise.
Yeah, no more spoilers. No, it's in the character backstory. That's so strange. Yeah. They give away too much. All right. Welcome to the Weekly. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on the holiday edition of the Weekly, UK copyright reform. This is all like bad holiday news. Okay. Vallejo strike. Wyrmwood layoffs. And let's end on a happy note with Doomsong.
That doesn't sound happy. Okay.
No. All right. So it's been kind of a mess.
Grim.
Yes, very grim. So this is very broad. This is just AI related, but it's very broad, and it's going to affect a lot of. I feel I'm worried about kind of creative people in the UK if this is the attitude that politicians are taking. So UK's AI copyright reform in 2025 and beyond might mean some pretty ugly things. So the government is proposing a reform to the UK copyright law in favor of artificial intelligence companies. So it's a broad new exception for commercial generative AI training. So you can train your AI on British copyright works without a license. The thing that they created to limit this is an opt-out system.
That's such
a so you can but the default is you can use the copyright system until the artist, the copyright owner says no, that has to be excluded. So every song you've ever written, everything you've ever drawn, you have to opt out, whatever the system is, like whatever the central way that this stuff is going to be checked to be opted out of. So the burden is now on the artist, and they might not even know where to do this. And it's, by the time they say, I should opt out, they've already
it's already
it's already in the data set. So unless the rights holders explicitly request that their works are excluded, they're free.
I wonder I'll have to go look at this. I wonder if the creator can just say all of my stuff Or if they're going to have to
in
go
general,
through piece by piece.
Right. Yeah, it's probably going to depend on how they set up the system. But the idea, the politicians' thinking is that this is going to boost investment in UK's technology sector. So they want to be as crappy and heartless as the US. They want to give dominance to these technocrats and people that are bullying our government, basically. With the amount of money that they're making. So they want to do that in the UK too. An estimate that they gave was in the creative industries, the copyrighted created material generates 126 billion pounds annually. So to kind of destroy that, to dismantle that by letting people just copy it endlessly, is pretty brutal. So we have a quote here from Lord Valence of Balham. I don't know if he rides a lightning stallion, the science minister. He's saying this is going to promote an innovative AI industry in the UK. And the technological advancements will soon make it possible for creators to effectively restrict the use of their works in AI training without requiring this opt-out these measures of opting out. But it doesn't matter if it happens later. It's going to be too late. It's the history.
It's not like the AI, the model thing is going to forget it's in there, right?
Okay, well, we'll remove that now since you opted out. And and a lot of people are criticizing it as an illusion of control. Ed Newton-Rex, a CEO of Fairly Trained, which used to be Sustainable AI, and a musician himself, says that opt-out doesn't work. A no opt-out scheme in existence can successfully opt out all downstream copies of your work. Even if it could theoretically work, which it can't, it's hugely unfair to creators. So people are criticizing it.
On the creator,
all but impossible. So, and they're talking about things like YouTube, like what you have to do. It's like a 15-minute process on YouTube to get something taken down that someone has stolen. So imagine multiplying that by...
I didn't even think about that aspect, right? Like if someone has already kind of stolen your stuff and puts it up as theirs, like how do you...
Right. So the data is suggesting that nearly 90% of creators are unaware that they have the ability to opt out. So that's great. And so everybody's favorite Beatle, Sir Paul McCartney, chimed in and says, this will enable AI to take over, basically, and do irreversible damage. So it's just it's not good, and people are on both sides of this. They want the money, they want the technology, businesses, the industry in the UK to be stronger, and they see this as limiting. But they were talking about the music industry alone is predicted to lose 25% of its revenue to AI generated content within the next 4 years.
So AI generated music.
So just recycling the old music, and places like Disney, Fox, Universal Music, and Getty Images are, of course, against this. They're on the other side of this and saying opt-out is not a thing.
Man, again,
those are your allies.
Yeah, exactly. Who on their 2024 bingo card had Disney and Marvel and being on the correct side of things? Right?
Yes, right. But the Baroness Kidron was quoted as saying, "It's simply not right to dive into people's houses, take their work, and then say it's not theirs." I thought that was a good quote. And the CEO of Getty Images said, "A world where artists cannot invest in and be rewarded for their work is a world with less creativity and fewer people able to make a living in their trade. It's not a compelling future."
Oh, it isn't.
Yes. So, and the argument is, even if we license it, it'd be such a small amount of money. But any creative person would take any amount of money for their work. It's it's definitely just a few pennies is still a validation. Look at us. Look at this channel. Look what we're doing here.
We're just pennies a day. You can support a pair of us.
It's just pennies. But so hopefully they will abandon this flawed opt-out proposal. But it's already getting to be too late. Yeah.
Or now my fingers are crossed. I'm not holding my breath, is what I should say.
Right. Yes, so let's jump across the Gibraltar from the UK to Spain,
to the mainland.
Yes, to the mainland of the EU, and face even more difficulties. 98% of the workers at Acrylicos Vallejo are on strike. So the leading war game painting manufacturer.
Are they the leading game?
Yeah. I guess they do a lot, and so this is so about 74 of their total 90 some workers are involved in this an indefinite strike. And so Vallejo is the makers of Game Color and Model Color. So this started in late November and was kind of a gradual thing. And it sounds like a really frustrating situation because the ownership of the Acrílicos Vallejo will not negotiate with the workers. And there's a good reason for that. So the Catalonian labor organization CGT has kind of taken up the representation and the cause for the workers. They're looking for wage increases, improvement of safety conditions, and protocols to handle workplace harassment. And I guess how they've been convincing people to endure these miserable work conditions is originally Vallejo was incorporated in New Jersey in 1965.
Didn't realize that, yeah.
And they just keep telling them, well, you could be working in New Jersey. And they say, okay, we're fine.
Sorry.
Yes, harassment complaint withdrawn. And then they moved to Barcelona in the 60s. So they distribute paints to over 55 countries all over the globe. And it's a very niche thing. But a private equity firm, Proa Capital, purchased a majority stake in Vallejo for just under $53 million in December of last year. Okay. Surprise, surprise. So they have no interest in negotiating with labor because if the company stops making money, they can just sell the name, they can chop it up, sell the building, sell the name, and they do not care. So a YouTuber, Hellstorm Wargaming, was kind of following this situation and was talking about the workers themselves make right around the Spanish minimum wage, which was recently increased, and it's not an hourly wage; it's a daily wage. So but it's just under $40 US a day. Not good. And it's been quoted by the representatives of the labor. Saying it's a deplorable state. Some parts of the ceiling are falling in, luckily without any injuries to anyone. The outdated machines have no maintenance. And to give you an idea, some of the machines had been repaired by putting in brackets just to keep them together.
Wow, okay.
So not great. And so another quote was talking about workplace harassment. The executives of the company who are professionals in workplace harassment and have dedicated themselves to harassing and making the workers' lives impossible, says the CGT. So, and they're not explicitly calling for a boycott. Right. They're saying if you're considering not buying any more products until the strike is over, it would be a good way to put pressure on the company, but they're not, strictly saying that.
That was my thing. Like, I saw this not a while back, but I saw this when it kind of first started, and like people were saying, okay, boycott. I'm like, whoa, let wait until you actually hear the workers or the people representing them say yes, boycott.
Right. Yeah.
So
exactly.
they have not called for a boycott. All they've said is, if you want to wait until the strike is over to put pressure on them, do it.
Right. Yeah, and so Patricia Perez is the member of the CTG and president of the committee working with the workers, say originally they started a partial strike. So they had 16 days of partial strike that started December, but by December 11th and 12th, it gave way to total stoppages because it was having no effect. And they said they're not getting information. The company is not giving them any information which they are entitled to as representatives of the workers. So there's just no negotiation because no information is being exchanged at all. And it's very, very frustrating. So it seems like the investment group has abandoned the facilities. Basically, there's been no maintenance. Things are in terrible work. So calling them deplorable work environment. So it's not good, and it'd be a real shame if this, because they have such a huge international distribution. It's one of the paint brands that you can easily get for a very reasonable price in Japan. A lot of the more boutique stuff gets really expensive. Yeah. And it's hard to get a lot of times because those sorts of things, depending on the chemical components and things, you can't import. You can't buy from overseas; that they have to be imported. So they're saying. So Perez was saying that they're trying to, escalate this conflict and get some sort of reaction, but the employers are not responding to what the committee is putting forward in the meetings and their list of demands. So let's hope for the best. Hope there's some sort of resolution.
Next year, it might be a shortage of Vallejo paint.
Yeah. If they totally just break this thing apart and sell it off.
Whatever. I hadn't really considered that, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's too bad. That's a real, and they're just all the kind of new kind of express paints or speed paints and stuff. There's a lot of interesting stuff. That was probably what was making their life even more miserable is the other chemicals that they started adding to their new styles of paints. All right, well, more good news. Wyrmwood,
good. Yeah, okay.
I think back in the U.S. now, Wyrmwood lays off 50% of their employees. So gaming, furniture, and accessory maker Wyrmwood laid off nearly half of its staff. And they did an odd thing where they posted a video of
Heard
them
this too.
telling okay, so everyone that is here in this room has not been laid off.
Yeah, still has a job.
Yeah, you guys are our pals, and let's explain the situation and what's going on. But I think kind of publicly airing that stuff, and the camera kind of walked in behind the CEO. It was like a whole weird way to present it. And they're just like kind of standing in the warehouse looking depressed. But they're going to they're cutting staff from 170 employees to 90. And this is a response to declining sales and order backlog. So CEO Doug Costello was on a video explaining this and didn't really
explain it.
Yeah, comfort people very well. They got nearly 1,000 comments on this YouTube video. And I don't know what they were thinking with airing their stuff.
I don't know,
But yet they were during the COVID-fueled high of their business, making $30 million a year in annual sales. That's dropped to about $50 million a year, and their order backlog has nearly has gone from a year and a half to about 2 weeks. So the orders just aren't coming in. But the CEO was thinking, okay, maybe this is a good thing. Shorter backlog means that we can be you can get your stuff faster. We'll be on your order faster. It'll be increased better service for our customers. And then he said, well, I guess that wasn't the case. So they're a direct-to-consumer company. They don't distribute, at furniture shops or anything, these very, very niche, very boutique kind of things. They've done many Kickstarters, though, and they were in the top 10 Kickstarters, back in the day.
Well, okay. I just saw what the most popular product is the Wyrmwood Modular table, which starts at $2,399.
That's without cup holders.
That's the basic model, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry. If your one basic unit is $2,400,
yeah.
How could you not be in the top 10 of Kickstarter?
Oh, yeah.
Because all it does is look at your total sales, right?
Right.
Heck, I could make a single product for $10,000, right?
Yep.
And if somebody buys it, bing, I'm top of the
You're in the
sales,
top
right?
10. Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. So an odd decision to post this video talking about this, because I don't think people have a lot of sympathy. They had to look at this business model and say, eventually all the whales that play tabletop games in person are going to own one of these tables, and that's it. There's no more market. Yeah. It's not and especially with the younger players entering it using D&D Beyond, you're not going to need a $4,000 table to play D&D Beyond on. So,
but you want one.
Yeah, you might want one. Yeah, so it's and eventually, I think people do grow up and say, maybe I want some real furniture. I don't want some furniture that kind of looks like real furniture.
I think what happens is you grow up and then you say, well, I need some real furniture, and then you get old again, and you're like, okay, now I have all this free time to buy that fancy furniture again, right? But I don't. This as someone who's kind of skeptical of tabletop accessories, right? Because you don't need them, right? This does seem very niche, and at that price point for a basic model, yes, you said, what size and audience do you actually have?
Right. And for me, the feeling was it kind of goes against the whole kind of DIY aesthetic, building your own game table.
You're certainly not going to pay New York Borg or other than kind of OSR thing on this fancy custom built table that you had no hand in building.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, kind of wanting to build your own table. If you're making your own space and you've got this group that would, everyone would love this table, we want to put a TV in it and whatever you want to do, you would want to do that yourself instead of let's get an estimate. Oh, a $15,000, yeah, that sounds good. You get the matching chairs, yeah, let's do it. It's it kind of takes away from your connection to the.
This is a midlife crisis post-divorce purchase.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can get the Porsche or you can get the table.
All right, she got the kids. I'm getting myself a Wyrmwood table, right? Sorry for the stereotype there, but I mean, that's what this strikes me.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not cutting the ponytail, and we're getting the Wyrmwood.
Right, this is kind of like that Simpsons reference, haha, like Milhouse's dad. I sleep in a race car bed. How about you, right? I have a Wyrmwood table. Yeah, well, I have a family that loves me very much that I enjoy spending time with. Right? Sorry.
Yeah, I eat Honey Nut Cheerios on my own.
Hey, man, Honey Nut Cheerios are good, all right?
On my Wyrmwood table every morning myself.
No, you wouldn't, because you might ruin the finish.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, so that's too bad. I mean, but I can't imagine they had some business model that showed, an infinite.
The only thing that continues to grow is cancer, man.
You're right. Yes. So it's too bad. But it was kind of a silly thing, and during this peak, during this 5E boom, and then COVID, of course.
Right, yeah.
How many people? I guess those checks. That's right, the COVID checks, and you're like, they saw those checks come and said,
that COVID check paid for what, a quarter?
Yeah, right. Yeah. put your down payment on your
Or it's for
Wyrmwood
celebrities, right? Like Matt said, yeah.
Right,
Oh,
right.
Clarion said it's for celebrities,
Yeah,
right?
right. That's what they were doing. Yeah, it's just giving them to influencers and so everybody.
I'm sure giving to them helps pay people's bills, right?
Yeah, right. That helped a lot. All right, let's end on a warm, happy holiday note with a Doomsong.
Doesn't sound happy.
Modiphius is launching the. So this was a game that was previously kickstarted, and now Modiphius, they've done with like Death in Space and a lot of other games, is helping distribute the remaining physical copies, because I don't think they're going to do a second printing. So the copies that were produced for the Kickstarter is what they're going to be selling, because they're talking about it's limited in quantity. So of course the PDFs are in infinite supply. But this dark fantasy horror game now is showing up on the Modiphius website. And there's but it was produced because of a Kickstarter. It's produced in a very kind of luxurious way. There's not a regular and a better version. There's just a very nice version of this. So you can dive into the city of Panem, a world on the brink of biblical apocalypse with undead intrigue. So it's it's its own system. It has its own unique system, and it was kind of fun. The creator was explaining it, and it's basically a single die and a coin. And so failing rolls, and it's the Doom coin. So you can flip the Doom coin, and if you got a very a failure with a consequence, you can bring it up to a success with a consequence, or you can bring it up one level. Okay. But if you fail the coin flip, it goes down one level, so it could go to critical failure. Okay. Yeah. So it's a fun kind of so the same kind of results you get with a Powered by the Apocalypse game, but you can then use the coin to kind of take push your luck and move it up or down. So it's a rich macabre. And in character generation, you can generate rich macabre backstories in minutes, because you're using a die and a coin and creating a life path, basically, of your gravedigger. So there are a limited number of physical copies for sale. The designer himself does have copies available on his web store, and now the remainder are going to Modiphius to internationally get out there. So here's a little bit from the website. Welcome to Panem, a nation of saints and sinners of foul heresy and undying devotion. Within this tome, a grim world of medieval horror awaits. So Doomsong is a roleplay macabre set in the world on the cusp of biblical apocalypse. The dead are turning away at the gates of hell and giving them no choice but to return to the world. Players must subdue them, regardless of how they feel about this arrangement. Inspired by the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, medieval folklore, horror, and European mythologies, this hardcover book is filled with artwork by Mortis Krebs, and players will find themselves navigating a land poised between two extremes. The
Ecclesiarchy?
Thank you. The Ecclesiarchy. I almost went totally wrong with that. The Ecclesiarchy's justice and order on one side, and the silken allure of heresy and power on the other. So it's very it's really gorgeous art too. Very in a medieval, nice rough ink work. So Jack Caesar is the designer, using 1d6 and a coin for these mechanics. And it's a beautiful book, and Mortis Krebs was so Black Crab Art on social media is the artist that gives it a real kind of European folklore look. So it's 2 volumes. The first is Doomsong, which is the system and the whole book itself, and then the second volume is Lord Have Mercy Upon Us, which is a full campaign that takes you. The city has become sickly, mutated, and malformed. The royal family is missing, and 2 psychopathic entities roam freely, causing chaos.
That doesn't sound good.
There you go. But it really looked like a lot of fun, and it's nice to see it's going to get, because when you see something on Kickstarter, and especially very a designer you may not know, or you like the setting, you like the idea, but it's difficult to back because it's not cheap. It was produced in a very nice way. It's good that this kind of comes back to not full retail distribution, but available from a place like Modiphius, who has pretty good reach. And so a possibility of 90 plus life paths with a d6 and a coin. So pretty impressive character creation with those limited means. But in the adventure book allows you to easily run encounters with minimal prep beforehand. Okay. That was another. And they also offered, and I think to just kind of broaden the audience a little bit, they did do a PDF, which is a conversion to 2 other systems if you don't like the D6 and the coin, 5e, of course, but also Forbidden Lands. Lands. Yeah.
I'm really Okay, I haven't seen the system. I'm trying to figure out how it would work with just a D6 and a coin. And then I have to wonder how they would convert it to a 5e, kind of 6 stat D20 kind of thing.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Well, the thing is, they wouldn't be able to retain the feel, that's for sure.
Yeah, it would really. So you're basically just playing 5e in the setting or playing Forbidden Lands. You're probably just using their setting more than any of the interesting mechanics, Yeah, but they did make coins. They did make.
I'm sure they did make
really
coins,
awesome flippable coins. Yeah.
How heavy are they? You sure you don't want to use them on your Wyrmwood table? They might dent it, right?
That's right. No.
hey, right?
Anybody has a Wyrmwood table, bring your metal dice the next time. You play and see how happy they are.
I'm going to vehemently disagree with Matt, where PBTA just doesn't do much for me as a system. These are wrong, and your opinion is wrong.
Debate now.
Yep.
That'll be the new show. Powered by the apocalypse. Yes or no?
Yes.
Fight.
Or yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nice. But so take a look at that on the Modiphius website and also on the creators website. So buying from them directly would be even better. I'll put a link to that in the description. And speaking of which, so Christmas presents have gone out not only here but to the online players as well. So we everyone's got a copy of Mothership. First edition of Mothership. So order directly from Tuesday Night Games, which you should be doing with all your presents. Stay away from Amazon.
Yeah.
And everywhere else. Order from the actual creators to make sure that they, get as much of that benefit as possible, especially this time of year. That will do it for us this week.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
On Blue Sky mostly. Also on Threads, select groups on Facebook, because outside of the groups, it's just a trash fire. I forget. Oh, Instagram too. It's Hivemind, HYVEMYND, where I'm posting tiny little squares of cardboard that are masquerading as miniatures.
It's a micromillimeter is next.
Yes.
I'm working on a 7,000 micromillimeter scale.
Well, it's funny. Like I found, I'm like, hey, I got cardstock that's 1 millimeter thick. Okay.
Yeah.
So how about you?
Nice. And I'm still waiting to do my Christmas stream.
Well, you still have something.
Yeah,
you got time left.
Got time left. Yeah, I'll have some free time hopefully soon. And not a lot of Christmas. I mean, by the middle of December, Japan is done with Christmas.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. But so I'll find something to enjoy. Draw some Christmas cartoons. Probably draw into January as well because I have a lot more time. Get
decently priced sale Christmas tree.
That's right. Yeah, I'll get the funny, clearance.
Like the big day here is the 24th. And it's only for kind of kids or like young couples who have some kind of like fancy dinner or whatever. Like the day of the 25th rolls around, everything's gone.
It's gone,
right?
yeah.
Like the Santa Claus has come off Colonel Sanders, right? Like the New Year stuff is up. Christmas decorations are like 75% off.
Yeah, they just got to make way for New Year's because that's the actual holiday. Yeah, so it's funny. Doesn't work well. But so Abuse Cartoons on YouTube and Twitch and Abuse Cartoons on social media. GoComics.com/domestic abuse if you want to read 20 years of this cartoon. And yes, if you like what we're doing here on the weekly, consider becoming a weekling.
The strongest of all supporters.
Yes, we had a Black Friday sale just in case you missed it.
Did you?
But
wow.
But you can do that at patreon.com/upturnedtable. Different pledge levels, and we're also doing episodes and kind of the member content and kind of a pay-per-view kind of thing as well. So that they just started. Yeah, right. They just started offering that. So I thought anybody that didn't want to, doesn't want to join Patreon, doesn't want to worry about a subscription, you can just download things directly for a one-time payment. And
I'm really trying not respond to that comment right there about more complex and more open. Its moves are supposed to make things narrative and simple, but they feel constraining to me. Oh, wow.
We got to have, we're going to get you guys on Discord.
Fight.
No, but I think it would be a fun discussion because, I think both you guys have some, coming from interesting kind of opposite ends of roleplay.
Right and
stuff.
wrong?
Yeah, right. Evil and good, something like that. I think that would be a fun discussion. Maybe
2025.
Yes, in 2025, it'll be a pay-per-view. So Upturned Table on all social media, upturntable.com, and so thank you so much for. This year we got one more. I guess I'll be
here around the 25th.
Okay,
the 7th. Yeah,
27th. Yeah. So we'll get one more in, and stay tuned for Alien Destroyer of Worlds tomorrow.
Yes, nice.
See you then.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye. Hello. All right. So I think I got all my Christmas shopping done this year. Has anything shown up on your end, Matt? I got notification. I got tracking numbers if nothing shows up. But yeah, we'll get through Alien, right? We've got the Draconis trilogy, and then maybe we'll do some Mothership for comparison after that. That should be fun. Oh yeah, how did it go? Did you get through? Yeah, I'll let Matt Matt explain because he messaged me. But yeah, if you got through the session, that'll be awesome. I haven't gotten a chance to do any drawing. I've got the pressure of getting the New Year's cards done and stuff this year. So sorry, I'll get back to cartooning and drawing and illustrations soon. Yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah, that might be an interesting discussion. We should maybe see if we could do that. Yeah, just to like pick a system and just kind of do two sides, the pro and con sides of systems. Because I think, yeah, I don't think I've seen. You just have a very one-sided, like a channel. Tabletop channels, whoever's running it or whatever, they have their opinion and their games that they play, and so you don't get a lot of back and forth. Yeah, we did a what was that, a Twitter drama tonight. Yeah, we did it with the old Idle Red Hands. We did kind of like a talk show style debate or discussion of Powered by the Apocalypse, and talking about how that works and kind of modern mechanics and not. So yeah, that would be fun. Cool. Matt's got some more Cyborg. Yeah, everyone's got to just stay healthy so we can even online, if we can keep gaming online. Yes. So that's good. Yeah. So we have. Yeah, I think we've got enough miniatures already. We won't have to build anything for Hobgoblin, so we can give that a shot. I'm really curious about those mechanics because it does sound like someone, a designer, taking a total crack at a style of game that they liked, but from a very different approach. So like a rank and flank fantasy battle game, but closer to like Kings of War, where you're not removing models, you just basically have a type of unit and their base size, and then you're imposing doom on them, and then if they fail rolls, then they disappear or flee. Nice. Yeah, that's the great part about editing. Yeah, thank goodness Matt didn't have to do a live stream of coughing. Yeah, I've got a kind of a cough button on my microphone at home, but it's too hard to hit. It needs to be really easy, so I can't get to it often enough. But yeah, that's no fun. All right. Oh yeah, sorry. There's no Christmas. There's no Christmas anymore. What happened? Wait, I think I still have it. Is it in the scene list? Oh, this is a totally different list, isn't it? No. Oh, Christmas isn't over just because we're chatting. Here, let me see if I can find it. What is it? It is a... Yes. I'm going to crash the stream. I know I'm going to crash the stream. You know I'm going to crash the stream. That's what I'm doing here. All right. This is the original size. It comes in at, yeah, way too much. There we go. It's just me, so it's not so bad. But let's get the chat out of the way. Everything's in the wrong layers here. There we go. Yeah, the Wednesday Christmas is strange. It works out well for New Year's this year because some years people here literally get like 2 days off, depending on where New Year's falls. But because it's in the middle of the week, people have like almost a 9-day holiday, I think, this year, which is kind of rare. Yeah, there's all the the leaves and everything. Yeah, I zoomed it in on the other, so it's more on the border. I'm kind of in the jungle now, in the Christmas forest. All right, but yeah. Hopefully in this new year we can get some more in-person games going. That was really rough. Like, yeah, the planning was really hard. We did one session of Outgunned, and we did we recorded a game of Zone Wars, so I have that video to edit, and then we played the Warcrow Adventures, I think it was called, the kind of tile crawling, dungeon crawling version of the Corvus Belli fantasy setting. That was like just in the last few months, but that's it for in-person stuff. Yeah, it's been hard. Schedules have just not worked, but yeah, we'll see. Oh yeah, and you can't see it. It's just off camera. But one of the things I brought to the studio to decorate was my Aku. So he was out of the box, so he wasn't going to sell at any toy stores. And this is the one. Sorry, this is the one you can wind up. It's a Christmas miracle. Yay. I think he's attacking. I don't know. I think that's his attack action. But yeah, I love this sculpt, and I love this Mako doing the voice of the. So this is the villain from Samurai Jack. In case you didn't recognize him, but yeah, it was one of those things I couldn't part with when I was doing away with most of my analog life in America. Yeah, I had there was like a version of Samurai Jack, like in like a space suit, like a big clear domed helmet spacesuit and stuff, but none of that stuff was open, so it all went to Beach Boys Toys in Rockford, Illinois. So yeah, that was he saved me, because it was that or the dumpster for a lot of that stuff. And so I got a hold of the guy, and I was using my cell phone, but it was my Japanese cell phone in America. So I called him several times, and calling the store, and he didn't pick up, because on caller ID a guy was calling from Japan. So maybe he's had some crazy people try to buy stuff from him, because he's in toy, like a dealer of all kinds of pop culture stuff. So maybe get some weird Japanese request. So he just ignored the call. But finally I got through. I was persistent enough, and so all that stuff found a good home. Crazy. Hey, there's Carolina. Good to see you. Yes, you missed Chris, but you're here for the ramble, the rambling part. Oh, Matt, should we do Sticks and Stone T-shirts? I have that because I did the drawings at a decent. They're not web resolution; they're actually like printable resolution. Should we do T-shirts for your cyborg characters? That would be fun. You could wear them at the next convention you go to, and then people ask you, who's that? You can refer them to your actual plays. That'd be fun. Oh, Matt almost died again. Cyborg sounds pretty deadly. That's great. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, so hopefully, this next year. This is a really terrible year. A lot of real difficult stuff personally. Although we've been here almost every week. I had to miss a week, even with the way stuff was going. So hopefully 2025, the further we get away from the 2020s, I think the better we'll be. It's been a miserable decade. Yeah, started off bad and got worse. But we'll and so so I really appreciate having something stable and reliable like the online group that we were doing Alien with. That's been really good to stay focused and be distracted by stuff. And we've played such a variety of stuff. It's been a really nice thing to do. Oh, cool. Yeah. I can do maybe the Redbubble will be nicer quality. We should upload. I can do those graphics and see how they look. I got to use some oracles for net running. Oh, that's cool. That's right. Styx is a runner, so that's nice. Yeah. I haven't taken a look at the kind of running rules and stuff in Cyborg. Nice. Yeah, so I've been listening to, just to kind of get in the mood, some of the Alien audiobooks, and I'm totally forgetting her name, but there's a really great sound-alike voice actress that does all the Sigourney Weaver, all the Ripley stuff for those books. And the stories aren't great, but she is like spot on. Like she's doing, of course, a good mimic could like do an impersonation of someone repeating lines that they've said, famously said in movies. Whoa, famously said in movies, just listening to them. Sorry about that. But she, can just riff and just sound like her reading any dialogue. It's amazing. Definitely not the same for, the sound alike for Newt or Reese or anybody. Nobody sounds quite the same. But they really kind of go off the rail with some of that stuff. And the one thing that I listened to was the William Gibson Alien 3 script. So when they were thinking after Aliens, they couldn't get Sigourney Weaver, so they kind of wrote her out, and they push forward kind of the Michael Biehn character and Bishop, the Lance Henriksen character. So they had a more major role. But the cool thing about that script, and I guess that was already fleshed out in the universe, is they referenced the UPP, the United People's Party, the like kind of third governmental, kind of political entity in the alien world. So the little bit of spoilers, but it's explained pretty early. So the EEV that they're in at the end of Aliens is drifts into UPP space, or I guess they're on a ship. Right? They got on the ship, and the ship has weapons, and the weapon systems go up. But they've been drifting for so long that the weapons violated like the treaty that they had between the USC and the UPP. So it kind of like triggers this kind of like political event. There's some tensions already between them, but they rescue them, and first they're brought to a UPP base and then released. And of course, there's all sorts of alien intrigue. I don't know if it would have made a great movie, but there were interesting characters. There would have been much more, like there's a UPP soldier that defects that would have probably been a pretty strong character if it was cast well. So there's some really kind of cool stuff that they did in that. And I think they did a graphic novel too. So there's a graphic novel version. They did an audiobook version, but they got Michael Biehn and Lance Henriksen, Michael Biehn and Lance Henriksen to do the voices, but of course they're like in their 60s or 70s. They're much older, so they sound like their characters, but a little bit, a little bit looser version of their characters. So next to the Ripley sound-alike, you can really tell that they're much older. But they got the original actors to reprise their roles. It's not a great story, but it would have been fun, better than the rib spreader on Newt, and everybody just being dead, and then Ripley shaving her head and running around with road flares and open and closing doors in Alien 3. Yeah, it's funny. A lot of really sad, a lot of behind the scenes stuff with the Alien movies. It's really sad and disappointing how much better it could have been, and just a lot of unfortunate stuff prevented good sequels. But you could tell, so the terms that Sigourney Weaver would come back for, she wouldn't shoot a gun, she would have sex in the movie, and she would die. And that's Alien 3. There's the plot right there. You had to somehow write around that. But the prison planet, they had that idea, I think, for a while, even when they didn't think they would get her back. That's quite a sequel. Carolina saying, Prometheus to Alien 3. Prometheus is gorgeous. There's some really, I keep forgetting just those landscape, the vistas and stuff, just at the opening of Prometheus, how beautiful that is. It's just insanely nice. But the characters are such assholes in Prometheus. I don't know why they had to do that. They misunderstood kind of, I think, the appeal of the kind of realistic banter and kind of back and forth of people working together or whatever. And so they thought, so it's going to be another haunted house movie, everyone's going to get killed, so they all should be assholes. I really didn't like everybody comes out of cryosleep and everyone like, fuck you, stay away from me, was everyone's attitude. Everyone was such a douchebag or a bro, the boyfriend or the husband, I guess he was the husband, was such a dude bro. That was rough. He was a poor man's what's his face. But it was rough. But I don't know. That's the thing that really bugged me. If they could have toned down the characters a little bit, I could have enjoyed the story more and what they were trying to do. But that was a little bit overwhelming. Yes, right. Carolina. Yes, what? It was a shit year. I gotta have. So the sofas. Unfortunately, sofas are too small in Japan. Couch surfing is not easy to do here. Nobody has those big, wonderful American sofas. I wish I had sofas for everybody. Maybe just here. This should just all be sofas. That'd be a fun live stream. Just a room full of sofas and multi-camera shoots. Not easy. The dog Alien movie. But it's funny because there's some really good actors in Alien 3. Just the roles weren't great, and because I like was it Charles Dance, the actor, the doctor? He was so good in that, and because that was one of those weird things where I saw Alien 3 at 8 a.m., 8 in the morning or something. It was a weird early screening, and I'm oh, new Alien movie. And it was so disgusting, so visceral and gross, especially the autopsy of Newt and stuff. That was a real stomach churner, that early in the morning. Ugh. I do not have fond memories of that movie in the theater because I was a student in Chicago, and sorry, I keep doing that. The movie theater not far from here is having a really early screening. Okay, I'll go before class, and it was rough. The character back and forth. Then it wasn't they were all good actors. I've liked those actors and other things. It's just they wrote them just to be assholes that you wanted to see die, and it was weird. They kind of did that with Covenant too. Everyone was such a jerk or an incompetent in Covenant that you weren't cheering for anybody or just like, please just, yeah, very weird. I don't know. Yeah. That was the Michael Fassbender, the David and Steve, whatever the other, I forget the other android's name. But the end was good. Covenant, I liked that. The end, her realizing, going into cryosleep, realizing that that things are fucked. I thought that was fun. They didn't get there like completely. They didn't completely catch you off guard. You kind of had that feeling that was what they were gonna do. But that was the actress. Did that well. Got that across well. Yes, right. We would have had some in-person gaming. That would have been great, Carolina. Yeah, well, I'd probably find some big sofas. There are big sofas. It's just nobody has a house big enough for them. Yeah, I forgot when I was visiting family back in October. I forgot how big everyone's sofas are in the U.S. It's just crazy. Yeah. They basically have like little settees and love seats here. That's a sofa in Japan. But I forgot the giant, like, overstuffed, just brr. Yeah, sofas you can just... That's good for, like, getting sick. I couldn't imagine, like, being sick on a couch here. It's impossible. But, yeah, in the U.S., I remember... Oh, yeah, you can sleep on a couch. I totally forgot. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, he did a good. Michael Fassbender did the what was that called? The X-Men. Earlier X-Men. Yeah, he did a cool take on Magneto. Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that. They didn't. Yeah, they did like 2 movies, right? They didn't go very far with that new cast. That's tricky too. I think they're gonna have to do that with. They're not, but they should be doing that with like the MCU, and I guess DC is going to do that. They're recasting, but that's hard. Yeah, that's hard stuff. Yeah. A lot of the people sleep just on a thin little mattress on tatami, and that's actually like an amazing way to sleep. Like anytime I sleep wrong and have a sore back or whatever, I just lay on our tatami mat floor and it just fixes you right up. It's a good place to take a nap. And the cool thing is it's kind of warm in the winter, cool in the summer. The kind of straw mat floors, they're pretty cool. X-Men First Class, thank you, Carolina. Incredibly versatile because they're easy rooms to heat, and you would think like sleeping on a floor, but there's just enough give because they're the mats are grass, kind of a grass mat stretched over a frame, and so they have a little bit of give, and they have a lot of circulation, like air circulation and stuff. They're pretty amazing. Oh, Christmas Eve showing of Die Hard. Nice. Yeah, that'll be a good inspiration. Oh yeah, I had an idea, Matt. I had an idea for like kind of and I don't know if they're doing any licensing or anything for Outgunned, but I had an idea for a thing, and you might be able to like flesh this out better than I can. But I will message you about this. But I had an idea for a cool supplement for Outgunned that is something that they is not really in the rules, but might be a nice kind of add-on. But I don't want to spoil it on the live stream. But I will message you about this and send you like what I've written so far, and see what you think, because I think there might be something to it. It might be fun, at least just for our use. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I got to get back to some Outgunned. Yeah, that's right. So Adventure is coming in the spring, and yeah, because I got all the confirmation stuff for that. I saw. I'm going to be getting something like every 6 months from Two Little Mice for a while, and they just keep cranking it out too. They just they are always having a crowdfunder. But yeah, I'll hit you up, Matt, with that, and that'd be fun. Once we get that all, if we get something started, then we can talk about it if it's not too far. It's such early thinking. I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll have to take a look and see what they have as far as their license stuff, because it'd be cool if it could be something that could go up on drive-through. And I could do some illustrations, just not anywhere near as amazing as the illustrator for Two Little Mice. Yeah, that'd be fun. All right. Yeah, so we'll see. Oh, and I think we've got another sponsorship, because everyone loves those. But I think we've got, for January, we might have a sponsor again. Same sponsor as we had before. But I got contacted, so we'll have some more paid promotion videos. Everyone loves that. But that was good. I was happy. That means, because I thought after the campaign ended, they didn't reach out to us again. So I'm like, oh, I guess it didn't go very well. But they did. They got back in touch, so I guess it was enough. We're still on the list, so we're like all big league and stuff with our sponsorship. Oh no! Oh yeah, you're frustrated. Oh yeah, I don't know anybody. Chris is actually really good. If you've seen any of her publications, the layouts, but I'm not sure she has time for that stuff. But yeah, you're frustrated with it. Yeah, it's I don't know. I haven't done stuff in a while. If you have the files, if they're in design, files, let me take a look and see if I can remember how to do anything. But no, I'd like to help you out with that too, definitely, because then I can incorporate my art as cool as possible. Although you have multiple artists on that project, right? Yeah, so you haven't released that yet? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but let's talk about that, Matt. Yeah, I don't know anybody here. You might have more luck on your end. Well, surprisingly, a lot of graphic designers here, like a lot of the people that I know do that. Yeah, InDesign. Yeah, let me take a swing at it and see if I can help at all. Yeah, but yeah, hopefully we'll have a good year of games. We'll definitely have some Alien. Hopefully we can get a few, because we'll have, what will it be, the 20th, 27th. Hopefully the holiday parties will be out of the way. Then the 3rd. Yeah, I should be fine for the next few weeks. But you never know. People have to travel and stuff, and there's all kinds of holiday stuff. Fortunately, since I'm not working for any big company now, I'm not obligated to do they have what they call the Bonenkai, kind of the end of the year drinking party. It's actually like a big dinner party, and those were nice because the food is really nice, but you have to like socialize with everybody you work with, and there's a lot of duds, and a surprising amount of people don't drink in Japan now. A lot of younger people don't want to drink socially. So they're just kind of sitting there with their oolong tea or whatever, not talking to anybody. But yeah, I don't miss having to do that kind of stuff. The food was always good, but the company was never great. Oh yeah, no, but don't. Yeah, it will just kind of be an additional. If I can help you with the layout stuff, it can just be included in the illustration stuff. Yeah, but I don't know either too. Like things have changed so much. Because anytime I've done any freelance stuff, I am still thinking about like 2000s rates. They were much better back then. Like things have really changed. Just a little bit of illustration. Like Chris asked me for a quote on something once, and my number was much bigger than what she had in mind. But yeah, it's funny. Yeah, things have changed a lot, and I think just because those things like Fiverr and all those matching kind of gig websites for people have really brought the price of stuff down, and also people are doing that kind of unscrupulous kind of reselling assets. They'll buy pre-made stuff and then just sell it to a bunch of people as their freelance stuff. that's created a weird market. It's basically when computer science majors get into freelancing, they figure out a way to benefit the most from a single thing. Yes, yeah, it's a funny thing though, because Japanese people don't socialize unless they drink. So yeah, Carolina, that's not a bad choice. You don't do a lot of accidental things. You don't do foolish things if you stay sober. But at the same time, like, people just don't, like, their frustrations and their anxieties and stuff with their workplace, they don't release. Like, it really has an interesting kind of social function, and I think it does in Europe too. I remember in Scandinavia kind of being the same thing. Like, people were really cold and wouldn't talk to you, but then if you drank with them, it was like totally different. And Russian like people I've worked for from Russia are the same kind of way. You drink together, and then you're bonded in a very different way. So without that, the younger generation not doing that, they have a lot of resentment and hatred and stuff for their managers and stuff that don't ever get released from just being stupid and drunk together. So it's it's tough. Matt says, go to a party and leave without saying it. Oh, that's the Irish goodbye. Nice. Oh yeah. You have to be very formal. Yeah. You have to be very, make sure you talk to everybody correctly. And no Irish goodbyes in Japan. That would be, and most of the time too, you're not at a house party or anything, like a huge thing. So it's hard to do. Like, people are very aware that you're trying to sneak away. Yeah. That's very different style. Yes. Yeah. Right. Clarion. Yeah. You definitely have to thank whoever hosted it, and make sure you hit all the right people, for whatever your social circle or work group or whatever it was. Yeah, it's much harder. You can't do the arrive late, leave early kind of thing. That doesn't work as well unless you're really famous, unless everyone is like so happy you just grace them with your presence. But that's much more rare here. The celebrity is not as common. So that's funny. Yes, Carolina says, no, they're forced to connect their emotions sober. Yes, can you believe it? Yeah, it's funny, but it is funny that how that works, the social lubricant. Then there's people that have to be sober, or else they just go right off a cliff. That office party stuff is terrible. It's really, really hard. And even like some of the cocktail parties and stuff, like I went to the some of the big convention events and stuff that I've been to, and just like, it's so hard to be charming, and it's so hard to find a good level to kind of talk to people. You're doing the same work, you're in the same field, but it's hard to connect well. That's always been a challenge. I just find a couple of people that kind of make sense and hang out with them the whole time. But it's funny. Oh man, but yeah. So Alien and Mothership and Outgunned and Broken Empires. And what else we got going? What's on the immediate list? Oh, Matt, Terry always wants you to go to clubs. Oh, come on, Matt. I can see you. I'm sure the clubs Terry would take you to would be pretty fun. Oh, man. Yeah, definitely. I can feel Terry is much more of a social butterfly. Just the social media tells me that. Yeah, that's fun. But you definitely need to, need to do that once in a while. Oh yeah, Blade Runner. Yeah, that's right. I haven't heard anything about, but the Replicant Underground stuff, the Replicant Rebellion stuff is coming. I haven't gotten an update on that. But yeah, maybe we can go back to some Blade Runner and get Perez to betray everything he believes in with a helping the skin jobs. Yeah, but yeah, so we've got the Blade Runner supplements coming. Yeah, and then we'll definitely have the third. We've got one more cinematic adventure for Alien after this, and a bunch of Mothership stuff. I've got to go through that. I didn't do an unboxing of the deluxe box yet, but I'm gonna go through the big box for Mothership and show you everything in there. And yeah, and Cyworld. That's right. I really want to run Cyworld. I got to find the which VTT would be easiest to just kind of drag and drop the character sheet in and stuff. And it just depends on whatever is the easiest to script for. If it's something straightforward, I can just build some clickable sheets. That would be great. Yes, Cyworld. Yes, thank you, Clarin. Yeah, that was a real disappointment. So I ordered, my original idea for Christmas gifts was going to be, I saw that on the Fantasy Games Unlimited website, they have the physical copy. I don't know if this is 80s physical copies or reprinted physical copies of the boxed set for Cyworld. And I ordered one in November, and it still hasn't shown up. So I'm not sure what happened, like what's going on. And if they don't have them and whatever, it was very inexpensive, like $12, like very, very reasonably priced. So, but I have the PDFs. I have PDFs of everything, and I have my old physical copy, so we'll be able to run that as well. But I really wanted to see what a new like printed version of that looks like. So they have their space opera and Villains and Vigilantes and Cyworld and a bunch of stuff, Bushido, a bunch of stuff on their site. Most of it's digital, but some of it says it's physical. One of them is the Bushido is not a box set. It's the book version of all the contents of the box set from the 80s. But I couldn't get them to respond. I'm even sending it to a U.S. address. It's not like I was asking them to ship internationally, which is kind of miserable for some of the smaller online shops to do. So I don't know what happened. Hopefully I'll hear someday, but it's been processing for a month now, so I don't know what that means. I don't know. Yeah, we definitely have to do. Yeah, Matt's got a trilogy. Matt's got a trilogy in mind, so I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to get back to those characters. Yeah, that was fun. So I don't think this came across in the actual play, but the shooting the cow sequence. So when we're at the farm, at the ranch with the cows, and they're loading them up, and Lee just shoots one of the cows. The thing that I was thinking, and I don't think I got this across, was when Brad Pitt's character kicks in the door in 7, right? Like they're waiting, they have to do things the right way, and they have to go by the book, and he just says fuck it, and he just kicks the lock and breaks the John Doe's apartment door in. So that was my exact motivation for that. It's just like, oh fuck it, and because I had the gun that we took from the boss at the ranch, and so I just did that. So I hope that didn't oh, and then Will's retirement. That's right. The third movie will be the retirement party. But I don't think it came across. I think I just came across as a grumpy gamer or a grumpy player or whatever. But I was trying to be impulsively. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, it'll be fun to get back to those characters. Yeah, very, very fun. Yes. Yeah, I'm curious to see too. Kind of the differences. I guess they took away some of the special abilities of the thugs and the enemies and stuff in the adventure version, Outgunned Adventure, and that might become the more standard version. Carolina's other star. Sorry, but I can't tolerate the color scheme for Outgunned. I was traumatized by hot pink as a child. Yes. The 80s were difficult for all of us. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I thought that was a fun choice, Matt. I'm glad you went with an 80s buddy cop. That was a good... especially set in the Midwest, instead of going New York or Beverly Hills. It's just set in Indianapolis, the bustling metropolis of Indianapolis. Nice. Oh, yeah, Ghostbusters. Right. Yeah, and we should even see if... I'm curious how Outgun does Aliens, does an alien... Does the Alien movie. That might be fun to see... how they modify things and come up with just like a simple, and even the we could probably use the Outgun mechanics for like Hope's Last Day, or one of the other, like, not part of the trilogy, one of the other adventures that they wrote for Alien, kind of one shot stuff. Yeah, Hope's Last Day might be a good one to try to do Outgunned Alien mechanics and see how that goes. Actually, the one we're doing now, Destroyer of Worlds, would probably be the best Outgunned mechanics version. All in would be the best thing to be doing in this adventure. Yeah, that is true, Claire. And yeah, Outgunned, that's really cool. The Flicks idea is really a good idea. Like, just it gives you a different character sheet basically, and so it'll be different skills and abilities that are just like thematic for that setting. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. So original universe. So after Ghostbusters, 2 characters running a franchise in the middle of nowhere. That would be great. Yeah, that would be really fun. And the John Wick setting. Yeah, the World of Killers. Yeah, that setting looks fun too. That'd be really fun to play a crazy John Wick, where there wasn't, where all of you were, just as capable killers, and something goes horribly wrong. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Outgun might not work well with the terror. Yeah, I don't think you could do like a haunted house type thing, because you wouldn't be as fearful. Yeah, that's true. It would definitely be a bigger scale, kind of crazy, more aliens. Yeah, like just desperate shootouts with xenomorphs. Nice. Oh, sure. No problem. No, we should for each movie we should do a like a different color scheme. That would be fun. The 80s had a lot of them. That would be fun. And then we could, then it'd be like visually recognizable between the different campaigns. Yeah, that'd be really fun. Lots of stuff to do, and only 52 sessions in a year. We gotta map them all out and try not to miss any. Yeah, no, we should. That would be fun to do. Yeah, to switch color schemes, just so it's, this is definitely the second one, this is definitely the third one. That'd be fun. Very good. Yeah, the news was all so depressing. I was looking at tabletop stuff. If it wasn't... The sad thing is, so many of the news sites now are 5e and Warhammer. That's it. Like, the bulk of the news is just like the little minutia, the little stupid rules changes or releases for Warhammer 40k or Age of Sigmar, or they're testing the Artificer for 5e revised, all this just nonsense that I don't, you have to be pretty deep into that to care at all. I don't think like casual players of 5e are like, "Oh, Artificer." My dream has finally come true. I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm it's tough because it's a the second one is a big campaign, so like reading through the whole thing to get the sense of the shape of it, but we're not going to get very far into it tomorrow. So yeah, but at least I want to have like a sense of the whole thing. But it was a lot to get through, like 80 pages or something. It was quite a big and really dense, not a lot of stat blocks and stuff. Yeah, and I've watched a couple of people just like the setups and stuff, so I want to try to do it a little bit differently. Not just like read, because there's a lot of preamble stuff, so not just read big blocks of exposition dump and try to just like give it to you guys kind of piecemeal. So it's a little bit more like your characters getting into it and them reacting to stuff, because I liked like Terry's reaction to the Iona pre-gen character. It's like, oh yeah, this is a surfer guy and it's stuck on an ice moon. Yeah, so like those kind of character things would be much more fun than just reading through. And then in this system on the thing, and then yeah, like the war history of the alien universe. Nice. There we go. Yeah, greens. We could do. What's a good opposing? Just gotta stay away from the hot pinks. A green and a purple. Nice. Yeah, I can't wait to see how this goes tomorrow. And also your choices. I think Matt is going to enjoy Hammer. and we should talk about that too, because Chris made a good point. Is the group of pre-gen characters, I think it's like 7. It's a pretty unruly group, so we might want to do a little bit more like we were doing with Dune or whatever, is or even like Blade Runner, is not be afraid to break up the group, because you're going to be competent in those larger. I mean, you're incredibly competent, so maybe covering more ground might kind of help, because just having like 7 characters going around and around and around, yeah, to even as sandboxy as it is, it's still quite a crew to bring into a room, especially as like equipped as you guys are going to be. Nice. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think. Actually, I'm trying to think the other one, the not Iona one. I think that was no, that wasn't a sergeant or an officer yet either. Yeah, we'll have to see, and we can decide. Yeah, we can decide day of, but yeah, should be fun. All right. Well, let's wrap things up. So come back and see us tomorrow about this time. We'll be knee deep in who knows what on the frozen moon in Alien, and should be fun. So Destroyer of Worlds, our first session tomorrow on Roll20. So it's gonna look not much different. It's just gonna probably be us fumbling around a little bit more, because it's gonna be different shortcuts and different interface. But hopefully it'll go well. And I don't think we're going to use the Discord implementation. I think because we're streaming, it's probably better just for me to capture the window and capture our audio, and not deal with that weird little Discord, that activity that Discord executes. Because if we have any internet problems, not only will it interrupt Roll20, but it'll interrupt the state of Discord, and then it might not sync. Yeah, so it's probably not worth trying it. Who knows? But yeah, this will be my first Roll20 ever, and I definitely see that's difficult. So prepping for a game and then learning a new VTT, that's 2 completely different tasks. So hopefully I know enough now to run it a little bit more smoothly. And there's a lot of very similar things, like I can pop up something on the screen and then click show players, and it's that same sort of mechanism as Foundry. But I do prefer a lot in Foundry. Their dice roller, that Dice So Nice module, is amazing. That's like a must include. I think everyone's already kind of established that for Foundry. So if you're playing on the Foundry VTT, Dice So Nice always has the mapping, or the graphics for all the custom dice for any sort of game. So it's just automatically in there if you've downloaded the content. Dice So Nice has that as an option. So that looks really, really good. Yeah, it's just for some of the content they do the walls and the lighting and everything for maps, and most of the Free League stuff you don't need that. You wouldn't be using that. So that's a little bit they did a lot of work to do that, and it's a little bit unnecessary. But that's also maybe they're going on assumptions, that people that play on VTTs have. They want dynamic lighting and they want to open doors and stuff, I guess. All right, nice. What's Matt? Oh, it's coming up in real time. It used to drive me crazy when people in my IRL group would want to play with incomplete characters. One guy would try to put off coming up with a name for multiple sessions. Oh, that's really funny. I've never had that before. Yeah, but there are people that are reluctant to kind of finalize anything. But that's the fun of it, is coming up with a stupid name or making a weird mistake. Like, oh, I should have not chosen that, or should have not gone with that. I think it's more fun to play the poorly rolled characters in a lot of ways, but I think a lot of people don't see it that way. A lot of people are, they're min-maxing, and they get the, because I really got that when we were playing Pathfinder or Starfinder, I guess. Starfinder, I really got the feel of both Pathfinder and Starfinder, and probably all 3.5 stuff. There's just things you don't do. There's just, race class combinations you just don't do. You should do, because it's fun, but it kind of breaks the game a little bit. It just, makes it harder to do stuff. All right, but yeah, we're playing some pre-gens tomorrow, and this should be fun. We'll see how this goes, and you'll even have your own APV. All right, you definitely have wanted one of the. I think you could have used one of those in the last game. Okay, so we'll do this again soon. So Chris is still in town for next week, so we should be okay for next week. So one more weekly for the year, maybe like an best of the year kind of roundup kind of thing, if that's fun, because the news has been so bleak. We don't need to go any darker. And Alien RPG Destroyer of Worlds tomorrow. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you again soon. Merry Christmas, and see you in a week. Goodbye.